Good evening everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining us here on FRL Race Hub Formula Racing League TV. We are here live for the final round, the finale. We've finally made it. We've done 9 rounds. We're here for the finale of Formula Racing League's Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday Championship. This is season 11. And this is at the legendary Brickyard, the world famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Last time out we were able to crown a AM class champion, but all to play for 2nd, 3rd and 4th in that championship. The Pro Championship is all but wrapped up as well. Dan Naisbitt holds a 83 point lead coming into the race this weekend, and does require a almost perfect result from Jay Walzer, as we've seen just return to the pit lane there in the 32 car. Miruka is 79 points behind, and again does require an almost perfect weekend to overhaul the championship, with Dan Naisbitt having an absolute nightmare. But anything can happen in Formula Racing League. Usually it does as well. So thank you again for joining me if you've just joined at this moment in time. My name is Gogs the Captain Brown. I do appreciate you coming and joining me all season long for at the same time slot every Sunday here on this channel. There is still quite a bit to go. 2 races this evening. If you're not yet familiar with the format, or if you're new to Formula Racing League Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday, let me just show you on the right hand side of the screen what we've got coming up. We've got 11 minutes left of a free practice session of an hour they've had to get used to the track. We then have a 26-minute qualifying session. Now I should point out that those 26 minutes are split into 2 separate 13-minute qualifying sessions. 13 minutes for the Pro class and 13 minutes for the AM class, amateur class. Then we'll have a 20-minute sprint race. That is race 1 on the right hand side of your screen just now, followed by race 2, which is a race of double the length of time, a 40-minute sprint race, where things such as tyre management and fuel level do play a much larger role. On the left hand side of the screen you will see our driver tracker for this evening. It's currently showing Dan Clegg there in P1, leading overall and the Pro class. You can tell the Pro class by the numbers of the white background, so Dan Clegg in the car number 20, white background and black writing. Samuel Grafe is in the AM class and will have a red background on the number. You can see there on the left hand side as well, red background and black 77. Doesn't appear on the cars unfortunately, but the driver tracker will hopefully keep us right, and we also have a track map on the bottom right for us this evening as well. So we've got 9 minutes left to go. Weather this evening looks relatively grey but dry, something that a lot of the drivers have been getting frustrated with this season. Formula Racing League does use real weather, accurate weather conditions for their races, so when they come to places like Great Britain in November, it's usually met with a torrential downpour, borderline monsoon conditions. Nothing of that this evening though in the centre of America. I think we call this the Midwest. I could be wrong. Please feel free to correct me in chat. We do have a chat facility of course on the YouTube channel. Please feel free to give a little comment in there. Follow subscribe and like as well for notifications on when we go live again, as we see Rogers just coming down through into turn 1. Tricky track we have this evening for you. It is of course one of the most famous tracks in the world, home of the Indy 500. We're here on the road course, the IMS road course this evening, which has a tight, tricky and very technical infield section with older sort of type of asphalt, a bit more slidey than sort of regular modern day asphalt that we do see on a lot of these tracks. and you will see a lot of drivers making some minor errors, small mistakes, quick adjustments on the steering wheel. And that is something as well that we'll get to see generate a lot of action this evening. A couple of new drivers this evening joining us actually to the two Formula Racing League. So let's have a quick look at them. Are they all in the server so far? Got quite a few at the top end of the grid actually. We've got Juha Mäkinen in the 109 Ferrari. As they're the black, blue and white Ferrari. The 109 car, new two Formula Racing League. We've got Anthony Dutton in the number 12 McLaren, that lime green day glow yellow McLaren. New, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you have a good time this evening. We'll watch your progress as the races go on. Evan Hayes, has Evan Hayes joined the server yet? There he is in the 731 Ferrari. That white, green, sort of mint green, and then light green glow there as well. Interesting livery indeed, but we'll keep a track on the 731 car. Currently in Pro Class, we've got a Baruch car. I don't think they've joined yet. I've not seen anyone with a very short surname. Oh, there they are. I'm classing the all black McLaren. That car looks like a symphony of evil as it comes through one of the more tricky sections, technical sections off the track. So thank you again for joining us, Car. We'll keep an eye on yourself, and of course, very experienced sim racer, new to Formula Racing League on Super Sprint Sunday. We have Dan Clegg currently leading the way in Pro Class in the Lamborghini, the 20 car, number 20 Lamborghini black and white Fanatec car. So it'll be great to see how they are able to compete with the likes of Luca and Naisbitt, who has been leading the way for both of their respective championships as it stands. Couple of other drivers we want to keep an eye on this evening as well. We're going to keep an eye on Rob Fox. He is currently fighting for P3 in the AM Class Championship. He needs an 18-point swing in his favour against Samuel Grafe to overturn that. And we briefly mentioned what's happening with Pro Class as well. Dan Naisbitt in the Sky McLaren has a championship. It's almost too easy to win this evening. A double DNF will obviously put him at risk. I think Mihulka in the 979 BMW, currently 6th place overall, just behind him there in the straight, just behind the back of the picture. There he is. He needs a 79-point swing this evening. So over the two races, it's looking like he needs a minimum of a first place, a second place, and a fastest lap or a double first place. And Naisbitt not to score any points in both situations. It's a lot harder for Jay Wazzer to win the championship this evening as well. In the number 32 Ferrari, he needs a Dan Naisbitt double DNF and a double win for Jay Wazzer with fastest laps in both races with his 83-point deficit. Anything less from those two will see the championship head firmly into the tight grasp of Dan Naisbitt, who has been really wanting this championship since we kicked off, since lights went green all the way back in race 1, and that was at Bathurst. We've been all over the world, we've been everywhere. Some of the most famous tracks they have in Assetto Corsa Competizione. We have been, like we said, down under to Bathurst, where we've seen Adam Lang make his one and only appearance this season and not return. Took the double win there. We've been to Laguna Seca in California. We've seen Luke Prentice take a double win there. Then we went to the Adriatic coast. We went to Misano. We've seen Ivanov take a double win, so 3 double wins to start off. We then went to the Far East all the way out to Suzuka, which again seen Ivanov take his next double win as well. Not participating, of course, the last couple of races has Ivanov, which has seen him fall down the order, unfortunately. Where did we go next again? Just thinking off the top of my head, I do apologise. It was a double win by Prentice as well, I believe, round 5. That was at Snetterton, I think. As Daz Naismith now just begin to leave the pits. Round 6, we went to the famous Watkins Glen in New York State. Mioka took a double win there and put him firmly in the championship contention. Round 7, seen us go to Alton Park. One of the trickier tracks we've been to this season. I believe we had a double win there for Dan Naisbitt, putting himself firmly in the championship position. Zandvoort seen an absolute domination by Naisbitt and Luca. Actually, Luca in AM class done fantastic last time out at Zandvoort in a very, very, very tricky situation, and then obviously we're now here at the world famous Brickyard. In chat there we've got Dimma Just Start saying that it's his first race with FRL, first time competing. I'll be honest, with the names on the left I'm not quite sure who that actually applies to. I do apologise. If you give me your car number I will absolutely be able to track your progress this evening. I thought I had all the newcomers there, but if I've missed you out I do apologise. So yeah, just if you're new to this as well, or if you're just joining, this is obviously Assetto Corsa Competizione, one of the games you can get if you are a PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium member as one of your downloads. So if you're thinking about maybe getting involved, not going to cost you anything, the game's there. You may have to pay for some DLC, not a full game, but that's decent. They usually will very likely pop up on sale after the new year, actually. Don't take my word on that, I can't promise that. We'll keep an eye on the so keep an eye on the PlayStation Store. Obviously the download the content will come up, but yeah, if this was like your cup of tea, have a look on www.thesimgrid.com and search for Formula Racing League and give them a follow, and you'll get all the details how to join their Discord there. If this is the type of thing that maybe might tickle your fancy. So we've only got 50 seconds of practice left. A couple of cars now coming round the track. Richings is not going to be going round. Who have we got round here still? Eden. Eden has been one of the quicker drivers all season. Not necessarily had the best season, but definitely had the pace. So there's quite a few people actually in that midfield section I would put in that category. Prentices really came along this season as well. So yeah, we've got Dalybreel, Rogers, Mulnix, Spanu, Michael van der Waal. 2 van der Waals in the field this evening. Hopefully that won't get too confusing. Of course it is D van der Waal. I think it's Damien van der Waal. Could be wrong. I do apologise if I am. Checkered flag is now out. So this is going to be the last couple of laps for these guys going round. We see Mihuka, who is in the championship fight just about. Can he improve his time? He's currently 7th overall. He does not improve, and that is the end of his practice session. Qualifying will be up next. Eden's going to come round as well. Got cars parked just off the line. Need to be careful with that one. Yorkshire Mick in chat. Given is being the ultimate hype man for Dan Clegg for Race Club UK in the chat there. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on Clegg. It is his debut at Super Sprint Sunday. We'll see what he can do. His practice time has definitely shown his hand, no doubt about that. Next coming round here we've got Schrott in the McLaren. Red and gold comes across the start finish line now. Goes up to 13th overall. It's a good lap. Spanu just in behind there. Spanu does improve but does not move up a position. 512, the 512 car, that's Rogers, had a spin on the final lap. Needs to be careful, doesn't take anyone out there as Locklear just flies past. Number 12 is back in the pits as well. The 323, there he is, Locklear going through now. Can he improve? 6th place. The AM class drivers bringing it this evening. As that is in the background, that looks like Townsend rubbing the wall. So We are ready for qualifying, and the first 13 minutes of qualifying is for the exclusive use of the track for the AM class drivers. Nobody really wants to go out, but it's Locklear who's first to move. No, it's not. There's people out in front. So we've got Richings in the Mercedes out in front. Currently second, of course, in the championship. Would take a almost, let's call it almost miracle for him to lose that one, but he needs to be careful. Can't do any DNFs this evening. And I believe we are joined in the commentary box, just very quickly, by Jay Wazzer in the number 32 Ferrari. Hello, Jay. I'm good, thank you. So, this evening's a tricky one for yourself. First of all, let's talk about the track. What is your thoughts about this track? Just talk me through a lap. Talk me through your opinion in one word then. Give me a one word. Technical. You're being polite. You know what, I think you're right. My recollection of this track is from, I think it's the last one on the PS2. Yeah. Yep, I said that just at the top of the stream. Anything can happen here, and usually does, to quote Murray Walker. I've just been told that I can't hear your voice on the stream. Thanks, Michael, in the chat. Let's see if I can fix that very quickly. It might be. I'm going to see if I can pop your volume up on my screen. Give that a shot now, see if that helps. Oh. Whoa! Echoing in mind, but I'm just going to go with it. So I done some maths, and it says, I think I've got it down as you need an 83 point swing in your favour. Yeah, I've had a little chat with his ISP provider. We'll see if they can chip in for us this evening. I mean, we are in the Midwest. Yeah, so I mean, it's a bit of a tall order, I'll give you that. But we will track you through the race. Is there anything you particularly enjoy? What's been your best track this season? That was Alton Park. Yeah, great track, cracking track. I may have just said on stream that Luke Prentice won there, so I do apologise. Took that off you. Race 2. If I'm not mistaken, you won there before in the Bentley. That was Taco, I remember that well. Oh yes. Yeah, it's been a tricky season. The tracks have been very tricky. Is there a track that you want to see next season, assuming you'll be racing next season? You think the Northlife? Right, okay. It might be a bit late for that, I think. I think middle of the year next year, I'd expect to see it, but I think season 12 it might be a bit too early, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Cool, okay, that's fine. I'll let you go. I won't take up any of your time. I'll let you get your setup and everything sorted. Thanks for joining us. Take care. All the best. Good luck. Yep, so I'm being told that you couldn't hear a word that we heard there, so I do apologise for that one. Yeah, so I'll just briefly recap what he said. He's got a tall order, he likes the Bentley, he wants to race on the Nürburgring next year, and his favourite race has been Alton Park where he won. Just quickly to recap, I do apologise again if we've had some technical issues preventing any voice being shared there. So we've got Ginaldi in the chat claiming he's going to get pole position in the 888 car. Let's do it then, Ginaldi. Let's throw this field wide open. Let's ruin Dan Naisbitt's day for Pro. Let's get him someone to deal with up at the front. Let's have a wall of two AM class cars preventing him from going past. Really open up this championship. Let's go. So, quick rundown of the order so far in AM class. Luca is, of course, in his special navy blue and gold livery, completely copying my colours and my original livery, of course. Celebrating his AM class championship win. There is absolutely 0% chance he'll be in this category for season 12. 100% will be in pro class. Dutton in the lime green McLaren, I believe, nearly matching his pace, so it'll be interesting to see if Luca is in trouble this evening. Grafe is currently third in the 77 car. Marcus Locklear doing a cracking job as well, 3/10 off, great from him so far. Schrotty again, cracking job from them, all within half a second in the top 5. That's the closest it's been all season in AM class. Rob Fox in sixth place. Luke Ritchins not having the best of evenings so far in 7th, and Ka just rejoining there. I think we've got car 22 rejoining, so that is Luca. Must have had a little spin, maybe an off round the track, but it's Ritchins who's going to come round now into the final sector. His long right-hander up on the banking and is down hard on the brakes, so difficult to pick the braking point down into there. Keeps it within the lines. Tricky second to last corner, need to pick the apex spot on. The big front end of that Mercedes almost wants to push him out wide. He clips the apex absolutely fantastically. Nothing more to do really there than keep his right foot on the floor and cross the line. Can Richards improve? He does. He goes within a second up into 6th place. So we're watching Rob Fox here. As we'll come on board with Rob Fox, actually, we'll get a little on-board lap off the Scotsman as he makes his way round the final corner. See this long grid, there is actually a yard off brick just there, which signifies the start-finish line. And then into turn 1 you brake about 500, I think that's a 500 board you brake round about. He's hard on the brakes, he's very late on the brakes actually, turns it in, just clips the apex very nicely. Little lift off through turn 2, take it over to the curb and let it gently drift over to the left hand side, brake and get the car turned in. Make sure you get the apex, and it's very bumpy. Need to carry as much speed through this section as possible. Tricky right hander, not really any reference points for this turn here. This long left, almost take it like a double apex left hander. Bring it over to the left and he's lost the rear. He's just kept it, no, he's gone. He's ruined my track guide. If he hurries up, he will get another lap in though. Needs to let Marcus Locklear just fly past. Now he's went back to the pits. as is Dutton. So they're all jumping back to the pit lane. That will be just to get themselves an extra set of tyres, an extra fresh set. So Richings has got Car just in front. He's going to get a tow. No, he's not going to get a tow. Let's come on board with Richings. Let's see if we can get a lap. So we'll try this again. Take two as we come down into the first corner. Very tight, almost similar to Monza. A very tight, square, 90-degree right-hander. And everyone just keeps deciding to ruin my track, guys. Thank you very much, everyone. Car 77. Let's trust Samuel Grafe in the Lamborghini. Let's see if Grafe can give us it. Third time is the charm. Let's do this, Grafe. As Grafe goes provisionally on pole, he's braked very late. Gets it turned in though. Great on the left foot, on the brake pedal. Really takes that curb and drifts over now. Doesn't go all the way to the left, and he's maybe not opened that corner up as much as he would like to. The back end just steps out for the American. Now this again, tricky left-hander, no reference point on the way in. Gets it turned in, keeps it tight, and he's also had that little bit of oversteer. Very wide there. That is within track limits. That counts. You're allowed to use that section off the track. Bring it over to the right now, and you brake around about 200 feet out, 200 yards, meters, not quite sure what the system is they use here. Now tricky right-left as you take as much of the curbs as you possibly can to minimise the lap time. In this corner here you can really cut. As long as you keep two of your left wheels on the curb, you will not be penalised and your lap will stand. Lucas just absolutely smashed Graves' time out the park. Don't take too much off the bank end, make sure you brake as straight a line as possible to get the car slowed down. It's so easy to end up in the escape road. Second to last corner now. Late apex. Bring the car over to the left as far as you can and turn it in. Clip just as the corner tightens and let the car drift out and put your right foot on the floor, and that is a lap off the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As Grafe does not improve. Yorkshire Mick in the chat there, it's 13 minutes for the AM class and then 13 minutes for the Pro class. Just to make sure everyone gets enough time in to get the laps required, as the Pro drivers now are queuing at the end of the pit lane. Anyone who starts a lap now in AM class can finish it. So we're going to have Samuel Grafe and Schrott there, I think, just running wide. That may have invalidated his lap. But we're just in the final segments of AM class qualifying. The Schrott runs the car wide, so that lap's not going to count. Grafe is the last one out there. Can he dethrone Luca from that provisional AM class pole time? We'll stick with it just for a couple of seconds there. We know we've got Rob Fox joined us in the comms box. Yes, it was meant to rhyme. Just give us a couple of seconds while we finish off the AM class qualifying. Grafe's got a couple of corners left to go. He's into the final sector now as he comes into the very tricky braking zone. The third to last corner, kisses the apex beautifully, brings it back over to the right. He's went too deep. He's done. His lap's over, he can't improve, and that is the end of AM class qualifying. And like I said, we are joined in the comms box by Mr. Fox. You there? Great, so I just want to double check. I don't know if there's a way for me to check that your voice is being shared on the stream, because we were not able to hear a single word if it was or said. So if you could just talk any kind of gibberish about your lap, your best lap that you managed there, please. Okay, that's there. Fox just letting us know that he's had to abandon his last lap. I'm afraid, Rob, we can't actually hear you on the stream. There's a section in your settings on the PlayStation requiring you to allow your voice to be shared on a stream, and we don't think you've selected it. I'm just trying to find out where it is under settings. Sorry about this, everyone. Okay. So, are you able to control your PlayStation just now to go to your PlayStation settings at all? Yep. So, in your settings menu, if you go down to the very bottom where it says captures and broadcasts. Yep, and then I believe it's audio. Nope, it's not that at all. This is really annoying. It's not there. I thought it was broadcasting audio, but how do you allow your voice to be shared? Right, give me a little second. I apologise to everyone watching. Right, okay, Mick, they're on the chat. I've got some help on the chat. If you go into, do you know how to go into the party menu? Yep, and then the three dots. Party settings. Nope. We're getting some dodgy information here, I think. Voice chat settings. Yes, there's a voice chat settings there. Yep. Share your voice, allow. Bang. Exactly. So, you got that now?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, let's try again. Of all the races this season, what's been your best track to go to? What one have you enjoyed the most?
Watches Clown, I think, because I made an absolute terrible attempt at qualifying, and then managed to avoid all the carnage and just had a really nice clean race. And I was racing with some pro guys, and it was just nice to be feeling like I was in the mix and having fun. That seems like a distant memory now.
Yeah, I mean, Watkins Glen is one of my favourite tracks as well. I really enjoy the sort of undulations off the track. Is there a calendar, is there a track on the calendar that you would most like to see next season?
Oh, interesting. I've actually never raced at Kyalami, and it seems like an interesting track. It's sort of bumpy in places, but I quite like it. And I've actually never raced in a set of cross country series at Monza, just because the reputation it has for public lobbies. And I think, actually I did on PS4. One of my early races at FR was on PS4 at Monza, but it was just, it was what it was on PS4. It was, frame rate. It was like a slideshow, and it just wasn't. It was like, wearing a pair of shoes that were too tight. You didn't realise till you took them off. You were like, oh, thank God that's over, kind of thing. So yeah, I wouldn't mind another shot at Monza at some point.
Yeah, well, I can absolutely say that Kyalami is categorically my absolute favourite track of all time. It's one of my favourite tracks. I don't know why. I always seem to run really well at it as well. I do like Monza. I really like Monza. I've never been so disappointed as I was earlier on this year with the server issues they had during the Monza endurance race. I sat there for 4 hours watching somebody else drive, not to have a shot. So hopefully, it wasn't very fun, to be honest. But it's one of those things that just happen, just with servers and internet connections and stuff. Right, so you've had the whole season here. Do you think you'll be back for season 12?
I think, it just depends on a lot of things. Like, I want to see the tracks first and see where we're going to be, what the conditions are, because I'm really struggling with the wet and the changeable conditions. Actually, if it's wet, like it's Netherton was, that was kind of, it was a given for everybody. It was the same. Whereas some of the tracks, like Suzuka, it was part wet, part dry, and it was just a real struggle. It was just really frustrating. I don't have the experience with the Assetto Corsa Competizione to really help prejudge the you know, the setups and things like that, and then when you pull out and you realise you're boned on lap one, and you're like, oh no, I've missed this by a country mile. There's nothing more frustrating, because you know you're screwed at that point. You've got 20 minutes or 40 minutes of just sitting there knowing that you're just going to have to tiptoe around, and it's not fun. You know, whereas I like the fast flowing you know, races that you see on TV, you know, when they're racing in the summertime and it's brilliant, and the, you know, the heat haze in the distance and all that sort of stuff. I like that kind of feeling. That's what I'm in it for. You know, tiptoeing around Snetterton in the piddling rain was was not a lot of fun. Although I did all right in that race, bizarrely.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that I think is the challenge of setting up a server on G-Portal. Some of that is because it's very difficult to simulate what I say was a real life condition. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like a race where the conditions are stable, wet or dry, don't care. As long as they're stable, I'm fine with. It's when, like you said, it starts changing the temperature and the dry line starts appearing and it gets wet again. It's very difficult. But yeah, totally give you that one. It is unfortunate.
I think for sure I will stick around. You know, I'm you know, in FRL for the long haul. You know, I'll be attending as many races as I can. I want to do some of the special events over Christmas, and just it's a good community and it's good people to race against. You know, like even guys that are been closest to me in the championships, like Samuel, and we've chatted offline. You know, and about how of each other's races and about how it's gone. There's a good camaraderie, I think, and it's just a good bunch of guys to race with.
Yeah, it definitely is. Absolutely commend this league for the clean racing between everyone as well. Good to hear that you're back, and I'm glad you mentioned off-season, because we'll come back to that later on in the stream as well. What I'll do just now, thank you for joining us. It's been great to have actually put some voices to the cars we see on track this evening. I will let you get all sort of set up and everything for the race. I will let you do that just now. I've got 4 minutes left of qualifying. I need to act extremely excited over because we've got two newbies sitting second and third overall. Yeah, so I'm going to take close attention to that one as well. Okay. So I'll let you go. Set up. Thank you very much for joining us, Rob, and hopefully see you around.
Cheers, man. Take care.
Cheers. Take care. Bye. Okay, so that there was Rob Fox in the Lamborghini, I think it's a 508 car. There he is there. So we'll keep an eye on him, how he gets on this evening. Of course, one of his first proper full season at Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday. But as I briefly alluded to, just at the end of that interview, we've got Damien van der Waal in the 433, Mäkinen in the 109 car, and we've also got Dan Clegg there as well in fourth in class. All people new to the league. Where have these guys been? How the championship picture may have looked if these guys were around for the start. So Van der Waal just coming around to finish a lap. Now we've got a slow moving Porsche on the inside of the track there as Van der Waal goes through. Doesn't improve, no difference there yet. Clegg's coming round now as well. He's into that tricky third to last corner. It's so easy, as you see the debris there. Actually, somebody's already done that, ran straight on at that corner. Very easy to do, of course. The number 20 car for Race Club UK flying round the final corner now. Wait for the timing board to update. Does he improve? Nothing doing this time. Nothing doing. Clayton just behind. Does he improve? He does, but doesn't move up a position. The car 884 of Eden now about to come through. And this track really playing havoc with the order, actually. 1.1 second Jay Wasler is off, and that's down in 16th. So Eden comes across the line and does improve. He's moved up to 13th. Still a second down. So nearly a second separates the top 10. And then another second down to 22nd. So it's very close to this field, but even though it looks like they're quite far apart. Yellow flags out for the 512 car. That is Rogers having an issue there, I think, on the inside of just at the end of the final sector. Needs to be careful when he's rejoined because some cars flying past. That's not what he needs when he's currently down there in 19th. Mihoka now coming round the final corner as well. This is, of course, where Ralf Schumacher's tyre infamously exploded on that fateful day ruining F1 at Indianapolis. Mihuka goes into third overall, overall in that Liqui car. Of course, that big BMW has the advantage of being able to smash over that inside curb. Not a lot of other drivers will have that opportunity. Naisbitt's went through their 6th overall, not able to improve. Clayton next to come across the line, 34 seconds remaining. So these guys crossing the line now will be starting their final lap. Car 79, that is Gedman. Gedman's joined the server in a very interesting new livery for him this evening. We won't see those pink LEDs. But Gedman crosses the line now. So he'll get a lap in. Eden, with the 10 seconds left, will get a lap in as well. Mäkinen. Mäkinen's going to be last across the line. So the first car to finish is going to be Morgan Grace. The number 14 car had an excellent season so far, been very unlucky. And comes across the line now and smashes into the wall as hard as he can. It's always great to see Grace when he crosses the line. Always finds a way to entertain me. Well, that looked like a server issue. Hopefully that doesn't continue onwards. So next across the line, I think we are car 18, the crossover there. Spanu doesn't improve. We'll pick up somebody who's yet to cross. That's Mihuka, who's coming across now. Doesn't improve. Car 71. That is Vanderwall. Michael Vanderwall coming to cross the line. Naisbitt's getting a lovely little toe behind. But he's not able to improve. He doesn't improve, sorry. Goes ahead of Mihuka. He's 4th overall. Dan Clegg now, who's currently P3, comes across the line and takes pole position. 135.505. Cracking lap by the debutante. Clayton does improve, but not able to move up a position. Good lap from Clayton. Car 79 is Chris Gedman. He's going to be next across the line. What can he do? Flashes his lights for us as he crosses the line, but no improvement this time around. Eden's going to come through now as well. The last man across the line is Eden, and he goes P13. Mäkinen must have went off the track. So that is the end of qualifying, the final qualifying session for Season 11. Formula Racing League Super Sprint Sunday Mega Grid here at Indianapolis. So let's have a run through the order. AM class looks like this. Luca at the top, as he has pretty much been all season, with also the fastest middle sector. That's the tricky one of anyone. Grafe is half a second behind with Dutton, another 4/10 there as well. Marcus Locklear putting in a cracking job to go into 4th. Schrott is in 5th, Schrotty in 5th, Richines in 6th, Rob Fox 7th. Ka making his debut this evening in 8th, and Ginaldi with Can Cablo with qualifying bans. Not able to hit a qualifying lap. Overall, this is what the grid is going to look like. This is with Pro and AM class integrated. Dan Clegg will take in his first ever Super Sprint Sunday qualifying session pole position into race 1 and race 2. This grid, of course, is set for both of the races. Luca will start alongside him, so Luca it's not alien to him to stand on that front row. Vanderwall, the new Vanderwall in the 433 is 3rd overall. Mäkinen 4th. Naisbitt in 5th. Mihuka 6th. De Ronde in 7th, Grafe 8th, Clayton 9th, Prentice rounds out the top 10, row 6 is Dalbriel and Milnix, row 7, Eden and Dutton, then we have Spanu, Locklear 15th and 16th respectively, Schrott in 17th, Wazzer 18th, all the way down there in 18th, oh, okay. Grace in 19th, Moggs Grace there, who gave us the entertainment of smashing into the wall as he came across the line. Rogers all the way down there in 20th. I say all the way down, he's only 1.4 behind, so it's not like it's a huge gap to that 20th position. Michael Vanderwall is 21st with Luke Richings alongside him. Rob Fox 23rd with Daza T in 24th. Gedman 25th. Hayes 26th. Car 27th, and like we said, Rinaldi, Trotman and Cablo not getting a lap in. So that's the grid for the race. And so yeah, this has been an exciting qualifying session so far. Some newbies joining us this evening, and if you want to be one of these newbies that joins us, potentially taking pole position just like Clegg did, all you have to do is go on www.thesimgrid.com, follow Formula Racing League. All the details to join Super Sprint Sunday and the other events such as Tackle Tuesday and the late night series on Thursday nights. All the information how to join is available on thesimgrid.com, as well as information on how to join Formula Racing League's Discord, where you will get all the race information and exactly how to join. Have a look at that. We are, of course, in the last week of the season. We will have some off-season events which will be announced later on this evening on this stream. We'll get some fantastic news about that, and also I want to take a quick second to talk about the new Endurance Championship. I believe it's called the Coach Dave Delta Championship on PlayStation 5 with Formula Racing League. All the details, I believe, they may be on SimGrid. I think they are, at least for the first two races at Monza and Donington. I think Donington may be coming in a couple of days. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But all the information is there on team endurance events. Endurance team racing, one of the most fun things you can do is, like I said, in this game, get your friends around you, put a team in, and then you drive together, one person at a car at a time, work on your strategy, your setup together. It really is one of the most rewarding experiences that you can do on this game. And Formula Racing League will host it all on this very channel, frlracehub.com. This is, like I said, the last two races of the season for myself in the comms box. So I hope you've enjoyed what we've had so far. We've got two more races to go. I'm going to give it my absolute all. I hope everyone here racing gives it their absolute all as well. We've got 1 minute before Clegg and Luca get us underway for this very final. I say very final, it's the normal final. This final session of high octane, high speed action. And if you are enjoying this content this evening, or if you are one of the many drivers who will inevitably watch this stream back, I do want to take a quick second just to talk to you about Patreon. Your Patreon support is essential to the ongoing success of Formula Racing League. The main purpose of any sort of Patreon support is to cover operational costs, such as the hiring of private servers to host these races, as well as securing commentary and streams such as this one that we spoke about. There's other utilities involved with running sim racing as well. So any kind of support you guys can give through that system really does benefit the league, but not only benefits the league, it benefits yourself as well. So for the price of a small Northwestern US-based coffee company coffee, you could support Formula Racing League for as little as £3 a month, and what you get for that is your very own designed Discord logo by the fantastic team here at Formula Racing League. You'll get your very first refusal on all FRL championships, such as Super Sprint Sunday, or Tackle Tuesdays on Tuesdays, or the endurance races as well. You'll get first refusal on those. You also, and this is the way I say you're investing in yourself here, you get your stream shared to every single member of Formula Racing League's Discord server. Currently that number is over 3,500 members. So for that £3, 3,500 people will be notified when your stream of your race goes live. So if you think about it like that, you're really just investing in yourself. So get yourself a cup of instant coffee, save yourself that ridiculously overpriced mocha chocolate latte, or whatever you want to call it. Get your stream shared and contribute to your own success. That's Formula Racing League at patreon.com. Thank you for listening to that, and big shout out as well to the guys who have been organising this race, this championship all season long. The team at Formula Racing League, and in particular I want to give a big shout out to Chris Gedman, Dan Naisbitt and Stu Rogers, and also pat on the back as well to the Prentice brothers, Jack and Luke as well, who have been helping out and just sort of learning the ropes off their admin duties, but they've all been pulling their share to get this underway and made it such a great success. So thank you very much for the time you guys have put in, and thank you all for watching as well. It's been great to have you all with us for the entire season. 9-hole race, 8 races so far. This is number 9, or rather number 17, as we have 2 races this evening. This is race 1. Dan Clegg is just coming round into the final sector now as he begins to back the pack up. There he is there. So we've got Clegg in first, Luca second in that blue and gold livery, D. van der Wal in the 4-3-3, and Mäkinen in fourth alongside. Naisbitt and Mihuka take up row 3. That could be explosive between those two. Row 4's got Durand and Grafe as they go side by side now. In row 5 sees Clayton and Prentice. Somebody there in the chat earlier on said thank you for the comms. I appreciate every single comment and every single person who sits and watches this stream. Do not forget to leave a little like and subscribe for any future streams. Taco Tuesday, of course, will be streamed at 8:30 PM on Tuesday UK time. But we are here now for round 9, race 1 of Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday here at Indianapolis, the legendary Brickyard, for the finale, as we await the green flag. As we see the cars lining up now, we are green. We are underway for race 1, the final 20-minute sprint race of the season. Clegg and Luca are off to a flyer. It looks like Luca's got the edge, but Clegg's got the inside line. Need to look a little bit further back. It looks like Naisbitt's up the inside of Mihuka. It's so close. Luca and Van der Wal get very close to each other coming round there. It looks like everyone's got through reasonably well so far. No major incidents. It looks like 3 wide there at the back between the AM class of Schrott there. Spanu and Waz are just around them, but it's Clegg who's out in front. Luca has taken second. Van der Wal keeps third. Mäkinen fourth. And it's close between those two as well. Mäkinen's down the inside of turn 5. It's a very easy corner to get around, but he's going to be on the outside onto the long back straight, but he's going to have all the track length. And there's contact. Naisbitt and the newbie. That is Naisbitt and Mäkinen made contact on the exit of turn 6. He needs to wait now till everyone goes past. The 109 car will be absolutely heartbroken with that one after his fantastic start. We've got a bit of more action going on back there. We've maybe missed it all. Sunday on the grass rejoining, and there's a purple Ferrari, it looks like there. Is that Grace? No, it's not Grace, it's a 41 car. Malnick's again off playing WRC, it looks like. In the infield section, we've got the 888 car off as well now. That is... Oh, Naisbitt's... What's wrong with the Naisbitt? Naisbitt's had it off. Oh, he's running very slowly as well. He's waiting for Mäkinen to go through. So Naisbitt stopped after making contact with Mäkinen and let him go back through. And that is some fantastic sportsmanship, especially when the championship, there's side-by-side contact there. Side-by-side contact. That looks between Dybreel and Dutton, the new driver of Dutton, but I think everyone's going to come through that section as it stands with little to no contact and back into lap 2. Currently Trotman's shown as having the fastest lap of anyone as well, all the way back there in P25. Cablo thinks about it, moved out. They've got a car off in front as well. This sideways of Rogers, and there's almost a huge contact. And a lot of people getting through there with no contact. That's incredible driving. Townsend and Gedman, how they did not collect Rogers as they came through that section, I will never know. Great driving from those two. It's a sea of cars on the back straight. Look at that. That's a fantastic image. And Townsend went deep. Townsend has went deep into that corner. That's going to allow Gedman through, but who else is going to go through? That is Richings making his way through now, and Rob Fox tucked in behind the McLaren of Townsend. Milnick's in the 41 car, tucked up behind Schrott, who's got Dibrail, and they're still fighting. Dutton, Dibrail, still fighting into the final corner. Dibrail's got himself in a slipstream position, but Dutton has expertly put himself in position to receive that slipstream. They'll need to be very careful as they come into the first turn. They all get the car slowed down very nicely as Dutton smashes into that inside curb. What a mental first couple of laps we've had as Wazzer tries his very best to keep that championship going, but he's got a big rear end of Chris Gedman there in his face. A little bit of a gap opened up between Gedman and Spanu. Spanu at the back of this little battle between Locklear and Grace and Milnick's. That's Milnick's actually, Locklear and Milnick's. Bit of a battle going on there. So let's have a quick recap of what's happened. Dan Clegg has decided that he is going to make Formula Racing League his very own playground, as he is now a second ahead of Luca, with Van der Waal second in class, third overall. Grafe is in fourth, Prentice fifth, Deron sixth, Mihoka seventh, Eden eighth, Clayton ninth, Dibrail 10th, Dutton 11th, Schrott 12th, Grace, Milnick's, Locklear, Spanu, Gedman, Wazzer, Richings, Fox, Townsend, Van der Waal in the 71 Van der Waal, Mackinnon, Trotman, Hayes, Cablo, Carr, Rogers, Ginaldi and Naisbitt currently showing as last. So maybe he's have to go in the pits for damage potentially. It'll be interesting to see what that means for the championship. Maybe not going to wrap it up in race 1 after all. So if he finishes all the way back there, that means he will not score. Interesting. So, let's see who's currently battling closely on track just now. Who is going to give us the entertainment value? Spanu is all over the back of Locklear. As he gets a little bit out of shape coming onto that back straight. We've got someone in the pit lane. That's car 888. 888's in the pit lane. That's Ginaldi. Just leaving the pits actually. So these guys, the field seems to be splitting into 3 separate parties just now. We've got the leading pack sort of going all the way down to 6th, first to 6th. Small gap, then we've got Mihoka down to this battle here. And then we've got the gap behind Gedman all the way down to, I think, 24th. So the front guys beginning just to separate out a little bit, but Prentice is under pressure from the Ronda behind. Oh, no words needed. And we found them this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have found the knob. We look on the front there of his LED screen. We'll see who it is. But the Ronda is pushing Jay Prentice very hard as they come out onto the back straight. Such a tricky corner, this one coming up. That inside curb is absolutely huge, and that Lamborghini decides it doesn't exist. Just drives straight over it. There's no way that McLaren will be able to do that. And look how much of the corner here they take. They will need to watch, because it's one of the corners you can potentially get a track limits violation on. Up ahead, Van der Waal has gotten ahead of Luca. Oh, we've lost the driver. Milnick's has been off. And just ahead we've got Wazzer now on the outside of Gedman. They come into the third to last corner. Gedman goes slightly defensive. Shows him the wall, but he's going to look at the difference there on exit. And that's brought Milnick's back into the question as well. Gedman very tight through the second to last as they come on to the start finish straight now. This is almost flat out, should be flat out for most drivers. Milnick's going very wide there, and a big toe there. Oh, we've got a double knob. Gedman's also shown his knob on the front of his dashboard, and I think I have just made the link of who is knob of the week this evening. It is all the Formula Racing League admins, as the car in front there, car 84. Now who is that? That is the lapped vehicle off the track there. That's Cablo kicking up the dust. So we've got a lapped car just in front of this pack here. That's Wazzer again. He's all over the back of Gedman. He really is. Really pushing. He's got a good exit this time around. Gedman makes sure he gets the inside line, but these two are going to go side by side into this corner. Gedman's on the inside, Wazzer on the outside. Gedman brakes early, he has to, he's not got as tight a line, and he runs right in the side-to-side contact, a bit of argy-bargy. And that's loads of more places being lost by Wazzer. He came out behind Townsend, that's in 21st, so he's all the way back there now. So let's have a look out at front. Naisbitt, the championship leader, has just been lapped by Dan Clegg as he makes his way onto the fastest lap of the race so far. And Dan Clegg, of course, is no rookie. Very experienced sim racer, has been racing for years. This, I think, is his debut in Super Sprint Sunday, however, and he is showing just how much experience he has. Now a 3.2 second to Van der Waal. We'll keep an eye on that gap as the race progresses. Let's have a little look back there. So Milnick's now under pressure from Richings, as the pressure on Gedman has been dropped significantly. We look back the way here from Milnick's car, and that almost looked like a bit of contact there as Mäkkinen's flying now back through the field. Mäkkinen, of course, involved in that first lap collision with Naisbitt. But he has now really pushed himself back through the field. He's up into 18th place. He's definitely got the pace this evening. Oh, it's so easy in this infield section just to make a tiny little mistake. And it does cost you. It begins to put the car off balance. A bumpy surface here as well at Indianapolis. He gets so close to it, and we've got a car, looks like late braking there. That was Fox into the third to last corner. Fox defending now from Wazzer again, and Fox currently sitting for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth in class. Not where they needed to be this evening if they wanted to take that third place, that bronze medal. But Fox is now giving Wazzer a tow as Milnick pulls out there alongside Gedman at front as well. Nothing doing this time around. Fox again also defending. They're very slow through the apex. Wazzer having some difficulty anticipating the closing speed between the two vehicles on this lap. And dust being kicked up there again. This is one of the corners that you can sneak down the inside of your opponent as they take that V line, that V-shaped line that sort of splits that one corner into two corners. Everyone using all of that old sort of asphalt, that old runoff area that is legal for you to use on this track. Track limits not valid there, obviously. As Fox gets very bumpy over that little quick right-left chicane. He's not able to maximise his exit through there, but it's actually Wazzer who's under pressure on the exit. Wazzer's got Marcus Locklear all over his backside. What a cracking view, look at that one. He thinks about it down the inside and they get so close to touching that barrier, that debris, those brake markers have been absolutely smashed to pieces. Car 512, Rogers off again. Not a good evening for Rogers, and if he has knob on the front of his windshield, then the link is this evening that all of the FRL admins are indeed the knob of the week. Determined to find out if that is the case. As he comes round there, he is indeed. Yep, that is it. I figured it out this time. So quick rundown there. We're 6 minutes remaining. A lot of action so far in this race. Dan Clegg has put in an absolute masterclass out in front. He's now 4.1 ahead of the 433 car of Van der Waal. Luca is only got a second over Grafe, so Grafe is absolutely flying in this race. Luca, of course, with his gold and blue livery to celebrate. That looked like he went in deep there. Grafe did go in deep. He's on the grass. Is that going to bring Prentice back in contention? Not yet. He didn't lose too much time, at least, coming through there. Ronda is doing an absolute flyer as well in that McLaren. Mihuka's done everything he can so far. He needs to make up another couple of positions if he wants to keep the championship alive. Eden is currently in 8th place, just behind Clayton 9th, and Dybrale is rounding out the top 10. Dutton making his debut in AM class. He's got Schrott behind him. See that from the rear wing off the McLaren driver, looking at the front of another McLaren as he goes down the inside. He dives down turn 1, keeps it within track limits and makes the move complete. Oh, does he? As Schrott goes round the outside of turn 2, in the inside of turn 2, sorry, and makes it through. That's opened the door for Grace behind now as well. But he's ran wide. He's ran wide. This battle's gone for 4 or 5 corners. Absolute amazing action. He puts his nose down the inside. He's only drift right. He does keep the car. Oh, the back end of that McLaren just beginning to step out as the tyres scream no more, no more, no more for Schrott. Great battle between Schrott and Dutton in AM class. This is, of course, is for the podium for race 1. They're really pushing each other very well, as putting in a fantastic show for us in their first ever outing. Locklear is side by side. That is with Wazzer. Locklear's got the inside line. He goes into the corner. He's went deep. Wazzer's kept the race line. He's on the grass and he's skidded. Locklear loses the rear on exit, and that allowed Wazzer through into P18. Schrott start. Oh, what's happened? Dutton's pulled away from Schrott as Grace has overtaken Schrott now as well. What's happened there? That's Luca. Luca's been off. Luca's been off at turn 3. And that's allowed Grafe through to take first in class, I think. Yes, he is. So Grafe is now up into 3rd overall. Prentice 4th, Durand 5th, and Luca is down there in 6th place. 3 minutes left of race 1. It's still kicking off here at Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday as we're on board with the Ronda as he's on the back of Jay Prentice, the 678 lean, mean, fat, reducing lime green grilling machine, that Lamborghini that we've referred to with that nickname all season long. It really is his mint green baby, as he calls it. So now we've got Wazzer, sorry, Gedman, Wazzer and Locklear. Wazzer now pulls over to take the racing line. Gedman's had a bad exit out of that corner. He's going on the inside line. The two of them fly round the outside of Gedman. Gedman keeping himself out of trouble. We've got yellow flags out there actually. That is Cablo in the pit lane. Cablo in the pit lane's pulled out a yellow flag as it stands so far. So Wazzer's just kept the position ahead of Locklear. Locklear is not letting this go. That McLaren, it must be said, is absolutely flying around this track. All the McLaren drivers performing well. Oh, the touch and synchronised spinning as they come round the second to last corner. Huge accident as Ginaldi now goes through. It's not Ginaldi, sorry, that is the new driver. I'm not familiar with their names there. That is Mackinnon's went through. Wazzer and Locklear touch on the inside of the final second of the second to final corner, and that may have effectively ended any realistic opportunity of Wazzer taking the championship. Of course, all still to play for second place, and that's a huge swing of points in Mihuka's favour for that as well. And we see these two going to be battering all to the bitter end. Out in front, there's Clegg now, I think, lapping someone just in front there. We've got a car in front of Clegg. That is, I'm not sure who that is exactly, but they've moved over to let them pass now, thankfully. Naismith moves over to allow another couple of cars through, but this is now the final lap of race 1, and it has been an absolute cracker from Dan Clegg. Prentice is towing along very nicely the Ronda, and is there any move into turn 1? Nothing this time around. Luca's caught up to the back of this pack as well, so that could get very tasty as we enter the final lap of the race. This little pack here, Grace, Schrott, Dutton and Spanu, as Malnix shaves the wall at the back coming out of the final corner. Mackinnon is all over the back of Fox. Fox is carrying an absolute ton of damage on the front of his bumper. And just behind that lot as well, we've got Townsend defending from Locklear as they come down to the final lap. Townsend and Locklear side by side, both in the same car. Townsend's front end looks smashed to pieces as well. Locklear's car looks like it's very clean. Locklear's going to go through. He does run wide and he has to give that place back. Almost contact between the two of them, and these two will fight it out to the very end as well. The Rondas fell back a little bit from Prentice through the mid section. Luca is now on the back as the Ronda thinks about a move down the inside. Nothing doing. There's Dan Clegg, comes across the line to take the checkered flag. 12 laps in, takes the race win. Great drive from Clegg, flashing off the lights to celebrate. Van der Waal takes second. Grafe's going to come through and take third overall, but the win for AM Class and confirms second place in the championship. Jay Prentice comes through in fourth, Durand fifth, Lucas sixth. Drive-through penalty for car 2, that's Schrott. Schrott's going to fall back. Mihuka takes seventh, Eden eighth, Clayton ninth. Dybrale's going to come home in 10th, Grace 11th, but Schrott, is, after all that battling, has a 60-second penalty added to his time. We'll see where that puts him. Dutton comes through 13th, Spanu 14th, Malnix in 15th, Luke Richens 16th. Close battle between Gedman and Van der Waal for 17th, but Gedman I think is just going to edge it. He does. 0.3 of a second between them. Van der Waal 18th. Fox keeps Mackinnon behind. I think this chase for third in the championship is gone. Wazzer, Mackinnon, great recovery from them. Wazzer 21st, Townsend 22nd, just holds off Trotman and Locklear. Hayes about to come round as well. Takes the checkered flag. Good job from Hayes in his first race. Rogers having an absolute nightmare on his round this time, but he is going to be the last man to cross the line. Rogers into the wall beautifully. Hopefully no major damage for race 2 for him. Wow, my voice is already beginning to go, and we've still got 40 minutes of all this action still to go. Congratulations to Dan Clegg for winning on his debut, pole position and race win, fastest lap, cracking drive. Can he do it all in race 2? That remains to be seen. Dan Clegg with an absolute blinder there. Damien van der Waal in the 433 finishes in P2 as well. His first time competing Super Sprint Sunday, not his first sim race either. Grafe takes third place in AM class. Sorry, first place in AM class. That cements himself in second Sorry, third place in the championship, I think. But we need to come back to this one because this is one. I actually done some maths ahead of time this time to actually prepare. This is unfortunately the one that I did not actually look at. The battle for third place. Sorry, for second and third place in AM class, my apologies. I'll come back to that in a second. Luca managed to recover to second in class 6 overall. Mihoka 7th, Eden 8th, Clayton 9th, Dybrio 10th, Grace 11th, Dutton takes the podium. Spanu 13th, Milnix 14th. Let's look at it in a different view just to make sure. Richards 15th, Gedman 16th, Vander Wall 17th, Fox 18th, Mackinnon 19th, Wazzer 20th, Townsend 21st, Trotman, Locklear, Hayes, Schrott after the penalty finishes 25th. Dan Naisbitt finishes 26th and did take the checkers flag. Rogers finishes in 28th with Cat separating them. Ginaldi 29th and Cablo finishes off the field. But the real winner this evening, the Formula Racing League Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Champion is Dan Naisbitt after finishing and taking the checkered flag. Congratulations to Dan Naisbitt for doing that. You are the Formula Racing League Super Sprint Sunday Pro Class Champion. All to play, I believe, for second place in both of these championships. I'm just pulling up the championship now on SimGrid. Feel free to go on simgrid.com, look at Formula Racing League and check yourself. Just going to have a quick look at that just now. No, we don't want to look at Taco Tuesdays. That's on Tuesday nights. We're looking for Super Sprint Sunday. Season 11. So, current standing. This is the standings at the end of last race. So I'm going to do some on-the-fly maths. Dan Naisbitt, however, is definitely champion. That one I can absolutely, categorically state. Congratulations. Mihoka finished there in 7th, I believe. 6th, that's 5th in class. And, oh, he's all the way down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positions. That's a 16-point swing. Wazzer now needs a 21-point swing in his favour over Mihoka to overhaul that second place in the championship. And a quick look at the AM class. Richings currently in second with a, what is the gap? 32-point swing needed. Only got his 8 points there, so 26 points needed. 26 point swing for Grafe over Richings, needing to overhaul that gap. And a 20-point swing for Fox over Grafe, needed to overhaul him into third place. Okay, so now that we've dealt with that, I think what we're going to do is just take this race for what it is. The absolute blowout for the season. Everyone, it is the last race of the season. We have 1 minute left to race start. I'm going to call this as if it's its own race. We're all going to have a bit of fun. We're going to enjoy watching the newbies there. Clegg, Mackinnon, Damien Van der Wall in the 433. Dutton in the 12. McLaren, I think, was a newbie as well. I did have them all written down there, but I've lost my bit of paper. Good job, Gordon. Well done. Clegg, Hayes, Dutton, Mackinnon and Kah. Van der Wall, first time competing in Super Sprint Sunday, not in FRL. Evan Hayes, where did he finish in that last race? Hayes 24th. Good job, Hayes. Well done. Glad you got to the end. It's always an achievement in your first race there. Anthony Dutton. Sure, you done pretty well there, actually. Start and finish 12th overall. Cracking job. Podium as well in his first AM class race. Congratulations to yourself. We've seen what happened to Mackin, and he absolutely had the pace. So good job from Mackin. And Dan Clegg, of course, as we see there at the front of the grid, taking his time moving away. And Baruch Ka as well made the end of the race. Congratulations. Thank you all for joining us for this last race. We hope we can see you over the off season, over Christmas and New Year. We do have some fantastic events ongoing in Formula Racing League. During that time, we will get those announced for you at the end of this race. So do stay tuned for those details, those juicy details. It is, of course, all in the detail. The devil is. Sounds like Yoda there. Right, okay, so race 2, we have got 40 minutes of action. The temperatures have cooled slightly. It's now 13 degrees in the air temperature, 15 degrees track temperature. That means the drivers will have to adjust their setups and push their tyres a little bit harder to keep the temperature in them so they give performance. But the harder you push those tyres, the more they are going to wear out, which is going to cause issues as we come past the half an hour point in the last 10 minutes of the race. The last 10 minutes of every single race this season have had action all the way to the checkered flag, so do not go anywhere. We are in for an absolute barn burner this evening. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gents, boys and gals and non-binary pals. This is Formula Racing League Super Sprint Sunday. This is the finale of Season 11. We will be back with a Season 12. No guarantee for commentary just yet. We do need to make sure we do have the available resources. You can, of course, help contribute towards that by looking at Patreon. Like we said earlier on, no more than your regular overpriced coffee, mocha, chocolate, latte, hotoyati, whatever you want to call it. £3 a month for Patreon supports Formula Racing League and gets these guys, gets these streams, gets your stream as well documented to over 3,000 people. So you're investing in yourself. Remember to have a look at that one if you've enjoyed this content this evening. Like and subscribe. We do have 40 minutes of high octane action left to go this evening. Thank you if you are still watching with us. If you are still on the stream since the start, do not go anywhere as Dan Clegg backs up the pack as we await the green flag for the finale. Oh, and it has been an absolute pleasure to bring you every race this season. Hopefully we'll be back, but if not, let's just enjoy this one as a standalone race. Let's go. The field now backed up as we are ready to fly. Dan Clegg on the right in the 20 car, Luca on the left in the 22, Van der Waal, Mäkinen in row 2, Naisbitt and Mihoka in row 3 as we await the green flag here at Indianapolis. And for the last time this season, we are green. We are away. It looks like Luca has got a much better start this time around. He's just ahead as they come into the final corner. Dan Naisbitt moves over to the inside further back. We're 4 abreast further back as they go through, and the slight contact with Luca and Van der Waal almost pushes them out as they go through there. Everyone seems to have got through. We've got dust being kicked up now on the inside, a little bit of bumper to bumper action, nothing serious. Gedman looks a little bit out of shape as the final back runners make their way through. We've got a car off on the inside, that's the 979, that's a huge crash. That's Wazzer and Locklear side by side again. I don't know who else was off. 979 has been off, as well as the 884 car. We'll catch up with that as the driver tracker slowly brings herself back to action. Dan Naisbitt's got off, that's Mihoka. Mihoka's off at the back. Dan Naisbitt down the inside, and there's side by side ribbing between the two of them. Mäkinen and Naisbitt hard driving side by side there. No quarter asked, none given. But out in front, Dan Clegg has kept that position, and he has got Van der Waal. He's dragging Van der Waal with him. Van der Waal's got ahead of Luca this time around, but that back end looks very loose over the roller coaster bumps. At the back there we've got Eden, Mihoka and car 27. Who's car 27? He's had a nightmare there. That's at the back. That is Ka. car just rejoining there, but as we cross the line, Van der Waal, Naisbitt's under pressure from Mäkinen. Mäkinen pulls out to the racing line. Naisbitt's got the inside line as they come through turn 1. Mäkinen tries to hang it round the outside to get the inside for turn 2. Doesn't work out this time around. I'm sure that will not be the last time we see Knob and Mäkinen battling on track. They rond it all over the back of Prentice one more time. Prentice must be thinking, what can I do to get this man away from my backside? And the Rond will be wondering, will be thinking he is sick of the colour green. This has been an absolute slobber knocker of a race. As they've got a car running wide there, that looks like Hayes. It's not Hayes, it is Hayes. Hayes ran wide on turn 5, and that's now going to cause a little bit of a train as they come into this back straight section. Look at that sea of cars as they come through there. We've got Townsend in the middle of the two, and Townsend on the inside. And we've got the car in front, is that Rogers? It's not Rogers, that's the 71 of Van der Waal playing WRC this time around. There's contact back there, that's Gedman sideways. And Locklear, and a huge smash. Locklear, Cablo and Gedman. Looks like the two cars are mounting each other. Similar, not too far, not too dissimilar. Oh, the cars, oh my goodness. That's turn 3 as Hayes takes the IndyCar or motorbike line escape route. Oh, the action kicking off here. This is the last race of the season, of course. Everyone going hell for leather. Dialbrail with a heavily smashed backside. His back of the car being completely smashed in. We've got a car in the pit lane, the 508 car. These two are side by side. That's Dialbrail and Trotman. Into turn 1. Dialbrail down the inside in the K-Pax racing machine. Takes the position. He's gone sideways over the curb, but he's lost it and nearly gets collected by the pack coming through. Mihuka, Eden, and Hayes now coming through as well. Oh my goodness. This went from good to bad, peaks and troughs, moves and counter moves for the number 69 car. Now we've got Clayton being overtaken, huge dive bomb there from the number 2 car. I don't think that was a dive bomb, I think he just missed his braking, missed his braking point actually, and got a little bit out of shape. Great driving from Josh Clayton to avoid any contact, it must be said. That was a cracking piece of work. Grace now up into 13th, I believe. Spanu just behind in 14th. Dutton again driving very well. Currently P4 in class. He's got Grace behind him. Grace, of course, we've seen their pace this season as well. We're now on to lap 4. Dan Clegg is absolutely flying in front, and the liveries in these cars this season have been absolutely fantastic. I have to commend all the drivers for really mixing it up. Looks fantastic in these images and makes my job a lot easier as well, as Dutton runs wide and Grace tries to hang it round the outside of turn 2. That will of course give him the inside line into turn 3, and that will give him the position. Grace now up into 12th overall. Much better race this time around, and we can say this, finally say this, by the reigning Pure Sim Gear Pro Class champion Dan Naisbitt, as he's now running 3rd in class, 4th overall. Sick off the back end of Luca, very likely, but he's got Mäkinen all over the back of him. Mäkinen, of course, very quick in the last couple of races. These three are giving us an absolute cracking battle. Grace, Malnix and Spanu as they come through this corner here. Look at how much the corner they're able to cut. That inside really gives them some good action. A bit further back, Ginaldi looks like he's been through the wars. Oh my goodness, that McLaren's hardly got any bodywork left. He's got Eden behind. I don't think we'll be waiting too long to see that move happen. That car must be absolutely struggling. So what have we got here? This is these three again. Grace, Dutton and Spano down the main straight as we come down into turn 1. Dutton thinks about moving down the inside and there's huge contact. Dutton hits the rear end off Grace and hit them both out, and they don't need to wait for ages while the pack comes through. Dutton rejoining just, I think that's behind Trotman in the 246 car, the McLaren. Wazzer just tucked in behind him. Is Wazzer going to make his way past as well? He comes over to the inside of this corner, not normally an overtaking zone, but he's ran wide as the number 12 car, and that's allowed Wazzer through to take 17th. So De Ronda's managed to fight his way past Prentice now. Be pleased to see that. Prentice has now got the flying Josh Clayton, who's been flying all year, to be honest. He's been caught up in a lot of other people's incidents. A lot of them not his own fault, but he has been flying all year. But right now he's got Samuel Grafe, who we've seen last time out, is really not afraid to get his elbows out and battle with the Pro Class drivers as he pulls out to take the inside line. He is on the inside, he is entitled to be there. Like I said, there's no class restrictions, you are allowed to battle. Yellow flags out in the final sector for car 884. That's Eden, who's been off track and lost ground. I think Hayes has now went past as well. He has indeed. So let's have a look here at AM class. Lucas Stout in front. Naisbitt's got a small gap there to Mackinnon. De Ronde is ahead of Prentice by a couple of tenths as well, and Clayton's just tagging along pulling along Grafe and Schrott very nicely indeed. A lot of good battles going on here. Wazzer trying to make his way back through the pack up into 16th, and going better for him this time around at least. Backwards from the run. We see the banking, the famous banking there of Indianapolis. Of course, the cars, the GT cars, do travel on the start-finish straight the opposite direction as the Indy cars travel for the Indy 500. One of the different variations between the two cars. Of course, these cars not open wheelers. Different techniques required to drive them. Clayton runs a bit wide, so that's Grafe runs wide, he's got himself on the grass. That's going to cost him a little bit there. That's going to maybe bring Schrott back into the action as his tyres are a little bit dirty. They may take a couple of seconds to get the dust and dirt just shaken off them. He's done it again, he's went wide, as has the car behind though, so maybe not as big an impact as you might think. Maybe a couple of tenths being lost that time out. So we're looking here at Dutton. Dutton's looked very quick all race. He's currently running down in P18. As we see there, great shots here by the helicopter. Dutton is P18. He is 4th, I think, in AM class, so still going to take a decent haul of points as we watch Trotman really smash over the sausage curb and got himself out of shape. Both of the drivers running across that runoff there. Doing everything they can. They'll maybe get a warning for that one. The sun just beginning to come out here as it goes down, so the sun coming out it might bring the track temperature up a little bit. Make it more challenging for these drivers. Sky Adrian in the chat there looking to make potentially an appearance after 6 months, and then put a little emoji telling me to shh, and unfortunately in commentary that would not be very wise of me. So yep, spoiled that one for everyone. Hopefully see Sky Adrian racing very shortly. Another quick driver, of course, very experienced. We're watching this little three-way fight just now because Dan Clegg has decided to be very boring to all of us and skip ahead 4 seconds. Thanks, Dan, we really don't appreciate that. Keep up the good work, buddy. Trotman holding off Dutton and Mihulka down there in P19, obviously involved in that chaos at the start. I'm going to quickly jump up to the front, however, because the driver tracker is really just playing with me, saying there was 2 tenths between Naisbitt and Luca, but it does not appear to be the case, as Naisbitt almost runs it wide into the third last corner, and that's... Oh, he looks like he's struggling out there, the Welshman is. A 242 Sky McLaren, really not finishing off a cracking season. Naisbitt would love to take the win, of course, to celebrate that championship, but he is not being helped by the cars in front. Mäkinen, of course, in his first race here at Super Sprint Sunday, absolutely flying. Definitely has the pace to be living at the top end in the pro class. Hopefully see a lot more of them next season. Maybe see them in the championship fight as well. That Ferrari does look a bit twitchy though, doesn't it? So Michael Molnix, man of mixed seasons, started off looking very quick. He was consistently in the top 10 in qualifying. It's just not materialised during the races for him, unfortunately. Very quick driver on his day, and we can see now he's battling for that top 10 overall, and that, of course, no mean feat looking at the drivers we have in front. Of course, if you want to be a part of this pack for next season, we'll be starting round about mid-January, I assume. We need to confirm those details, those juicy, tasty, delicious details later on in the race. But if you're looking to hang around next season, it would be interesting to see if Molnix can put a season together. You know they're one of the quicker drivers, but if you're interested in maybe taking part against Mikey Molnix or Chris Short or even Dan Clegg, all you need to do is go to www.simgrid.com and follow Formula Racing League, and all the details how to join will be available on there. You do, of course, need a copy of the game Assetto Corsa Competizione for PlayStation 5, which, of course, if you are a PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium member, you can get on the store for free. You will need to shell out for some downloadable content, but that will very likely is a close, and Molnix hits the rear of Schrotti. Oh dear, Schrotti being shrotted, yeeted across the grass at turn 2. Keeps position, hopefully not too much damage on the back end of that McLaren. Molnix, of course, the gentleman as ever, allowing Schrott to go through to maintain that position after the contact, and that is the kind of thing you'd love to see. If you are looking to take part, you don't even need to get yourself thousands of pounds of expensive sim racing equipment. You can take part by using a controller such as our very own Jack Prentice, currently running in 7th. Controller user and competitive driver as well, in his lovely green knob baby. He is still flying, the sparks coming out of the back off that Lamborghini. So yeah, you don't need a control, you don't need a expensive setup. However, if you do have an expensive setup and you're looking to shell out on some equipment, do have a look at Pure Sim Gear. They do sell gloves and socks with specific sim racing features. Very good equipment indeed. Have a look there, but do join Formula Racing League's Discord first and go to their website through the affiliate link on there. So we're 10 laps in. Dan Clegg has made our evening as boring as possible, doing his best to make my job as boring as possible by being out in front by 6.3 seconds. Luca is doing a great job of keeping it exciting for me by staying within 4 tenths of a second to Van der Waal, the new Van der Waal. and really pushing actually. McLaren versus McLaren, no car advantage here. Dan Naisbitt's been dragged along nicely behind this lot as well. Mäkinen kept touch with the McLaren driver. De Ronde pulled away a little bit from Prentice. Prentice kind of on his own a little bit just now. A second in front and a second behind. Although Clayton is moving in his direction. Grafe currently takes second. And I'm classed 9th overall. He looked a bit out of shape there actually, yeah, but he's still fine. Michael Milnick's got a second there to Schrott. Not racing for class. Grace has done a fantastic job coming back, and I've just given him the commentator's curse as he decides to have a shot of WRC as he cuts across the grass there, and that is going to be Wazzer potentially sending it down the inside, taking advantage of that mistake from Grace. Grace experienced enough to know not to defend that one. Great clean driving and gentleman, sportsmanlike driving as well, something we love to see. So this battle here again, Trotman, Richings, Dutton, all three of these guys seem to be very closely paced this weekend. This track really has thrown a spanner in the works for the order, it really has. And we've got a car running wide. Trotman's ran wide on the third to last corner. That's allowed Richings to sweep round the outside. Dutton doesn't quite do it, but he's on the inside now, and Dutton has got through. Dutton's got through past Trotman. So Trotman lost 2 positions in 3 corners. He's not giving up, but he's not really in a position to make that move this time around. We'll need to regroup and try again as Dutton actually runs a little bit wide. Yeah, this track really has thrown a little bit of a spanner in the works as we see these drivers all making small mistakes. The sun really out now. That'll make the track nice and sticky, a lot more grip being given off. But the question is, will it wear the driver's tyres out a lot faster? That is the question that remains to be seen. We've got not even halfway yet through this race. We're nearly finished watching the final lap in race 1 by this time. We've still got this times 2 again. This looks interesting because Naisbitt all over the back this time of Luca, who's got a big knob in his rear view mirror. Lights flashing. That's all. I think that one was given. Luca knows not his battle, and that's allowed Naisbitt through. And Mäkinen's alongside the Ronde pushing hard. Mäkinen just keeps the position.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
Oh my goodness me. De Ronde is not giving this up, is he? He really is wanting this position. Mäkinen, of course, I don't know what happened. Maybe Mäkinen's had an incident. Maybe he's lost a bit of time because he's fallen back a bit actually. Still absolutely flying in 4th place in his debut weekend here. Nothing to shout home about. Sorry, something to shout home about, my apologies. We're now halfway, the sun is out, the sun is shining, he's got his hat on. No sign of any tornadoes. Lovely battle here. The sun looks fantastic here at Indianapolis. We're now entering the twilight of the season, and the twilight on track as well as Trotman again bounces over that grass. He's losing time. Dybrell's alongside him now as well. Isn't going to lose a position because Dybrell's going to fly out of that corner. He's going to take the inside as well. I think Trotman's recognised this position has gone, at least for now. Will he go for the inside into this corner? He doesn't. He's thinking about his exit speed. Car behind's gone. Ginaldi, that's Ginaldi off track. Car 27 not for position. That's a B car again in his first ever race with Formula Racing League. Again, great to see him still going. Rob Fox has had an absolute nightmare potentially in the wall with Van der Waal, and Gedman is bringing up the rear. This battle here from 4th all the way down to 9th. Great drive from Grafe, keeping in touch with this lot as well. Really seen Grafe improve as the seasons went on. It's great to see. Mackinnon's rear end just beginning to go. We can see the driver, the 109 Ferrari car, struggling for grip, and the car's bouncing on this track. It is one of the bouncier tracks. Of course, it makes it very easy to lock a wheel. A little bit of wheel spin just sends you into the wall. Luca moving back the way in the championship in class. He knows this isn't his battle, the championship's won. He is here to celebrate and show his love for Formula Racing League, and what better way you can do that by supporting FRL on Patreon. Again, have a look at patreon.com Formula Racing League, especially if you're one of the guys taking part this evening. As we see Ronda down the inside, potentially again of Mackinnon. That McLaren is flying off the Rond. The Dutch are coming for everything. Formula 1, FRL Super Sprint Sunday. Van der Waal's there as 2nd, the Ronda in 5th. They really do want to win everything they do. That behind it looks like Prentice getting a little bit sideways. He's got Clayton closing up now as well. Moves going on further back there. That looked like Eden going past Carr. I think he was lapped actually, but still, clean move, clean racing by the new guys. That's what we want to see. Like I said, support Formula Racing League on Patreon. Only £3 a month, and you'll obviously, like I said, be investing in your own success. You'll get your own stream shared. I do apologise if I'm going on about this a lot this evening. You may have just joined, or you may be sick of me talking about it. It is vital to the success of this league, but also for your guys' success as well. It is not a one-way street. You do get your stream posted to over 3,000 people, so keep that in mind when we think about next season, guys. You'll reserve your place in all those championships as well. And what a championship we've had this season. The two champions, of course, have been decided. Big moment there in mid-corner for Luca as he puts a big chunk of counter steer on to keep the car moving in the right direction. These guys really pushing to the limits. They're so closely matched. It's amazing to think, after 35 minutes of close racing, plus the previous race, plus qualifying, plus practice, that these guys are all so closely within line each other. And so I forgot how to speak. They got that close there. Clayton and Luca. Luca looks like those rear tyres are no longer cooperating and doing what Luca tells them to do when he tells them to do it. Indianapolis looks absolutely cracking in the sunshine. The sunset coming down. Clayton just moving off the racing line, letting Luca know he is there. It's a good tactic there. This lets the other person, reminds them that they can't rest. Quick rundown then on the field, because Dan Clegg is out in front and nearly smashing 10 seconds out in front. Currently got the fastest lap as well. Damien van der Waal there in 2nd overall. Dan Naisbitt in 3rd. Mackinnon is now up into 4th. Still in 4th. De Rond still pushing him on. A little bit further of a gap this time around. We'll see if that toe is as prevalent by the time they get down to turn 1. It doesn't look like it's going to be. Dan Naisbitt moving offline there. Surely tyres aren't too cold. I think a bit more in them, but look at that, the back end of Mackinnon a little bit out of control, and Ronda over the curbs. It's still got a lot to play for. It is the last race of the season. There are championship positions still to be decided further down the order, of course. Every single race counts to these drivers' driver rating. Driver rating is Formula Racing League's very own patented system. of deciding which class the drivers will race in next season. So all of that is still up for grabs. I won't go into the details of a 731 is off track in what's called a very precarious area. Who is the 731 car? That's Hayes. Hayes parked on the banking. Well, that's an exit turn, the final turn. He's now ported back to the pit lane, taking the tow truck. That might be him for the race and the season. We'll keep an eye to see if he rejoins. So the driver rating decides, of course, which class you are racing in this next season, and of course, potentially some prizes available in the top tiers. So we'll see. That's all to be decided, and there's a lot more on the line for these drivers. Obviously, the driver rating applies not only to Super Sprint Sunday but also to Taco Tuesday. Final race also here in Indianapolis, 8:30 PM UK time on Tuesday evening. Be sure to check in with us on this channel, then follow us as well, subscribe to us, and you'll get a notified of when we go live. Our colleague Tom Cairns will be bringing the action for that one, for the pro tier, the top tier of Taco Tuesday. That is, of course, on Tuesday. We do have just under 12 minutes of racing left, and this is the point where the tyres are beginning to cry. They're beginning to just fall apart. We see Mäkinen missing apexes. He's all over the track defending. He's got potentially the inside line. The Ronda wants the inside line though, and they now come alongside each other. The Ronda's down the inside. Has he finally made the corner? They come so close, within touching. And he makes it through. That's unbelievable car control by Mäkinen. Great to see. The Ronda moves down a position, and now he's got that green, mean, lean, fat-reducing George Foreman's grilling will stomp a mud hole in it and walk it dry machine. As he gets very out of shape, he tries to go round the outside of the third to last corner. The Ronda, millimetres again from contact. Great driving from the Ronda. Fantastic driving from everyone involved. It really is a pleasure to watch this close racing. 10 minutes from the final checkered flag of the season, and the toll that these guys are going to get as Grafe shaves the wall in the final corner as well. Luca moves to the racing line, doesn't want anything to do with it. And that is a car parked on the outside there. That's a lapped car getting out of the way. Luca almost pushing his way past there. It's not pushing, sorry, wrong word. Almost pushing the Ronda along, but Luca has got Clayton on the back as well. Clayton will want to get in on this action. Not racing Luca, of course, for position, but is racing the Ronda and Prentice. So, this is getting difficult to watch. So Rogers having a much better outing this time around. We see him there. He's just in front of Jay Wazzer, who I spoke to at the start of this race. You guys did not hear a word he said, but could we see Wazzer back in the Bentley? The boat is back next season potentially. We'll see if that materialises. The Ferrari, of course, requires a lot more delicate inputs, as does the Lamborghini of Rogers in front. We'll see if this materialises into anything just now. Mihuka still plodding along there in 16th. Even if Naismith had retired, it would not have been enough for the BMW driver this evening to take that championship. But Wazer's now ahead of Mihuka. He's doing everything he can. He does need a 20, I think we said 22 point swing to make, or 18 point swing to make it work. He's currently looking at a 4 point swing. It's not going to be enough. At least this time around. Look at the debris there through the second, third to the final sector. Cannot get my words out. I've given plenty of words out this season. Finally running out of things to talk about as we get towards the end, the finale here. We have got Mäkinen. Mäkinen's up into fourth. He's got past Prentice very quickly. He's now got Naismith to chase down. Couple of seconds up ahead, but dust being kicked up there potentially by Naismith. Naismith's only a second off Van der Waal. We'll see if Naisbitt can get himself up onto that second spot on the podium. But a little further back there, Deronda is taking a move, as is Clayton. Nothing doing this time. Nothing quite there. It really has been a great showing by these guys. The close racing being shown really is a testament to these guys' car control. It is something to behold. Even though the sun is out, the track temperature is dropping, we have only got just under 8 minutes left of the season. Nothing doing there. We'll quickly switch to these guys as Grace is under severe pressure from Mahuka. Mahuka, of course, needs to keep tabs on Wazzer. A couple of battles we need to keep an eye on as the season comes to a close. As these guys come across the start-finish line, that Lamborghini giving a big toe to the cars behind. Is he going to think about a move this time? Doesn't throw it down the inside of Prentice, at least not this time around. Luca's back end looking very wiggly, like a whole jelly. Or jello, sorry, we're in the US, it's jello this evening. Wazzer really still applying the pressure to Rogers as well. He's going to get a toe there. It's not going to be enough, not this time around at least. Ginaldi has been joined by Eden and Trotman. This is the battle for 21st, and we can see how much it means to these guys. They do not. Oh, it's Eden into the wall in the final corner. That's a huge crash. That Stephen looks like it's now an absolute bag of. Yep. That looks like Eden's competitive race this evening is over. We'll see if he can make it to the end with that damage. Mihuka has fallen back from Grace. Townsend is beginning to just reel in Mihuka. Down in 17th. He's had a quiet race this evening, probably because I've not been watching him too much. Oh, that was close there. Clayton really is almost pushing Luca along the track. Clayton, of course, does need to battle these guys in front. That would be for position for him. He just needs to dispose of the McLaren driver. But Deronda in the other McLaren in front looks closer every single lap. Oh, Clayton makes it work. He's went too deep. He's tried the move. He needed to do something. He tried his best to make it work. Nothing doing this time around. Dan Naisbitt has closed right up to the back of Van der Waal. He thinks about it down the inside. They're so close to touching. You can read the contract on that Sky car. You can read the fine print on the Sky terms and conditions. And also you can read his LED board. They really want the inside line, don't they, as they come into this corner. They'll have to brake so early. These guys will be losing so much time. This will allow the cars behind to catch up, and also allow Dan Clegg to further exert his dominance on this field. The leader, of course, now just catching up to some lapped cars. Will they let him through easily? We need to keep an eye on these two as well. This is the battle for second overall. Dan Naisbitt, currently running in third, is the Pro Class champion. Van der Waal making his first Sunday race debut. He really is being pushed to the absolute limit. He's been second all race long. Can he have that debut ruined by the Pro Class champion for season 11? And just further behind as well, we can see the close battle behind. How's this going to go down? What's going to happen as they come into the the first turn? He brakes very late, he's ran wide. Naisbitt's going to go around there. There's contact. Oh no, they're both off. It's been an absolute travesty for that to happen to Van der Waal this late in the race. That's Mäkinen now going through into third, but is it going to last as the Dutchman comes flying through the inside? Prentice is still somehow ahead of the run as Mäkinen thinks about it now. Van der Waal makes sure he takes the inside line. He's ran wide in the middle of the turn, and that's not allowed it through, but Naisbitt's now up into second overall. That one might end up in the steward's room. We'll see if that one goes any further. Van der Waal's currently third and defending hard We've got 4 cars within a couple of seconds of each other for the third place. This is the battle for the podium, the final podium of the season, Formula Racing League's 9-race season. And look how close they are, they're weaving all over the track. This is a fantastic way to end the season as we go. We need to stick with these guys as they're flying now. This is the tricky braking zone. It's so hard. We've got a lapped car. Oh! What's happened? Van der Waal is playing WRC. He's cut the whole chicane. He's going to get a stop-go penalty for Schrott again. Mäkinen now round the outside of the final turn. There's no way that position is going to be allowed to stand given how much of the corner he cut. The lapped car, nothing they could do. Just a bad example of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's all kicked off here as Van der Waal keeps the position for Mäkinen, and that's Prentice now all over the rear end. Oh my goodness, so we've got Van der Waal, Mäkinen, Prentice, De Ronde and Luca all over the back of these guys. Clayton I think is now joining the back of this little gaggle of cars as well. Can we get to the end without any further incidents? Let's hope that we can. 12, thank you for the people who are currently still watching. You have witnessed an absolute barn burner, slobber knocker, stomp a mud hole and walk him dry version of a race. It's been absolute chaos as we've reached the final couple of minutes, as every race has been this season, and Van der Waal still looks like he's struggling for that rear end. Mäkinen is going to push him all the way to the checkered flag. I think Dan Clegg is crossing the line very shortly to start his final lap. We only have 1 minute 20 left to go as Clegg crosses the line. Leaders on the final lap. It's going to be a 25 lap race this evening as Van der Waal goes slightly deep into the third to last corner. Everyone else seems to have got through reasonably well. Debris still everywhere. Van der Waal might see his name in the steward's room later on this evening, but he needs to do the business on the track first. Look at this gap. Look at the toll these guys are going to be getting. Oh, I don't think he's close enough this time around. That McLaren has just got too much straight line speed for Mäkinen to keep in touch. But look at the difference on braking through turn 2. Mäkinen's got that position. Prentice still holds the Ronda off. Really, Clayton's joined the back of this pack again as well. Clayton thinks about it down the inside. Nothing doing that time around. No other major battles going on. This seems to be the big battle of the race. This is for the final podium position. Yorkshire Mick in chat complimenting the comment. I really do appreciate every single comment that is given. Thank you very much. I am genuinely just this excited about what's going on. We're into almost the final overtaking zone just now. We'll keep an eye on that order, but Dan Clegg has led from pole position all the way through race 1 and all the way through race 2. It really has been a masterclass from the experienced sim racer but rookie to Formula Racing League Sundays. Dan Clegg comes across the line to take the win of race 2. Naisbitt's very likely going to take third, but let's just double check back, second. Let's double check back to the third place battle as Mäkinen tries to hang it down the inside and pulls out at the last minute. Nothing doing that time around. Prentice has kept the position behind as well. Oh my goodness, Dan Naisbitt comes across the line, your champion for Formula Racing League Super Sprint Sunday, sponsored by Pure Sim Gear. Van der Waal takes third, Mäkinen fourth, Prentice fifth, De Ronde sixth, Luca first in AM class, Clayton will take 8th overall, Grace will be second in AM, Mikey Milnix comes home to take a top 10 position. Well done, Milnix, great drive, great to see you in the top 10. Spanu, a very solid 11th place as well. Jay Wazer's got past Rogers and they're fighting to the line and they're weaving and they get across the brickyard. Wazer takes 12th, Rogers 13th, Mihulka takes 14th, not enough for Wazer to overhaul him in the championship. Townsend, a very solid top half of the field as well. Grace recovers to 16th. Dutton takes the final podium position, a second ahead of Richings. a half a second ahead of Diabriel. Ginaldi is going to be the next person to cross the line, weaving and flashing for the final time this season. Trotman comes home in 21st. Rob Fox flies across the line now. Eden as well. And I think that is all the drivers this evening to cross the line. Donuts happening down at turn 1. A celebration of everything sim racing as German just sits there patiently with Grace and Luca doing some synchronised donuts. German gets in on the action as well. Oh, the butts kiss, that's called a moon landing, just so you all know. That's the official term of when two gentlemen's bums touch each other. That is official, that is a fact. That was a moon landing. Mihoka and Diabriel giving us a lap of honour. Great championship from those guys, as is Fox in the background as well. It really has been a fantastic championship. I want to thank every single one of you all through the past 9 weeks who have been so kind to sit and follow and like this channel. Really, we have grown this channel all through the season. Thank you so much for watching. I believe we have now been joined by our Pure Sim Gear Formula Racing League Super Sprint Sunday Pro Class Champion, Dan Naisbitt. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, man. How are we doing?
I am out of breath. It has been a long evening.
A bit warm after that last bit.
Yeah, I tell you what, that looked an absolute... Wait till you see that back. From 3rd to about 9th. We're about all within a second of each other for the last 5 minutes.
I'm just looking now, yeah.
It was absolutely
cool.
cracking to watch.
Well, even quali was like P9 to P19 was like 5/10 or something.
Yeah, it's very tight field and it's great to see. There was loads of moves going on as well. I think De Ronda had 3 or 4 sort of battles there.
Yeah.
Where they're talking millimeters between him and the car they were battling with. It was great driving from everyone, to be honest.
Did you see that Karma repaid me today? Laskaluka let me past on the straight. After the last 2 races, I've let him win because he's been faster, and he let me go today, and then played rear gunner for a bit, which was quite nice of him.
Yeah, that would have helped a lot.
Yes.
I've seen a couple of great highlights as well. Clayton really trying his best to get involved in the battle in front, but had Luca separating them. I'm sure he tried to brake for the first corner at the 100 board, it looked like. Absolutely flied down there. It's like Luca began to turn in and just went nope. He just went straight on. It was class to see. What is class to see though is your season came together finally.
Yeah,
what was your
actually.
highlight of the season? What's your best race you've had? What's the best track you went to this season?
Did you know what? Zandvoort, probably. The last race we did.
The last race. The very sort of wet, dampy,
yeah, where everything just
annoying
clicked
conditions.
Yeah. Funny enough, the McLaren just... I think because you can drop the brake by so low on the McLaren, it comes really good in those kind of damp conditions. Because you can drop it to like 47, whereas some of the cars only go to 50 max.
Right, okay. And that
So
obviously
I think
helped.
that
With all the
definitely
corners
helps
they
it
have
to
there.
turn, yeah.
Okay, that's great to see. In terms of next season, and we'll get on to next season because I think Mr. Gedman has just joined the comms box as well.
Yeah, I've been here for a while. I've just been listening to your conversation.
Stealth.
He didn't want to come in by himself, he was nervous, he said.
Nervous. I'm never nervous. Tonight
Social
I had
anxiety
a
is
little
scared
bit
of Chris Gedman. So, interesting race for yourself, Chris.
Race 1 was fantastic. I
Yep.
got the result I needed to very quickly pit who do you call them, Townsend and Mulnix in the standings, and then start a race 2. Nope. The gentleman that hit me has apologised to me, so we're all good.
Great. Good stuff again, great to see the sports personship.
Yes.
Not going to make any assumptions.
But tonight's been a very interesting race. I thought there was going to be a little bit more damage or carnage, but it actually started off quite well.
Watch the stream.
Was the stream quite bad?
Yeah, you say that now.
It wasn't bad, but there was a lot of things that wouldn't fly on race one. It might fly a bit more this evening. A lot of late braking manoeuvres that you'd be a bit like, whoa, what's he doing? I believe you two had quite a lot to chat about.
We do indeed. We've actually got some good news.
Some juicy
regarding our
details.
Off-season. Naze has got a bit about our sort of prize draw that's going to be happening as well at the end of the year for all the patrons. Sorry, the alien patrons.
Yes.
So anyone who is partaking in contribution towards the league, there's a lovely wee incentive coming up, so Naze will cover that off. But I'll let you kind of start. You've been doing a lot of work in the background lately, Naze, haven't you?
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, we've only got Tuesday and a Thursday, and the season's finished, and then we've got a few off-season events which we will. Well, to be fair, should we reveal them now?
Yeah, well, we can talk about
Yeah.
them. So
Let's reveal them now. So Tuesday the 19th, we're off to Nürburgring for 75 minutes, no strategy. So no forced pits, no forced refueling, completely open. And then Thursday the 21st, we start British GT. We've got 3 races. Brands Hatch on the first Thursday, second Thursday is Alton Park, and the third Thursday is Donington. And then in the middle of that, we've got Saturday the 23rd, we've got Shrimp on the Barbie event, which is Bathurst 90-minute special.
Can you give us an accent?
Yeah.
That sounds very
Green light,
interesting.
go, go, go.
Can you give us an
Very
accent?
interesting indeed.
Do you know what? I
For
can't,
another
but it's
shrimp on the
terrible.
barbie.
Another Shrimp on the Barbie.
Nice. I'm not going to do
See
mine
there.
because it will come across Welsh or Indian.
Yeah, we can't understand you as the best of times. Don't mind if you try and
G'day,
bluster
Sailor.
in.
Oh, there's the rain for you as well, by the way, in the track, just so you
Is it
know.
raining now? Brilliant.
Yeah.
Every single practice was wet, and then we went through 3 sessions without one drop of rain. I'm baffled. Honestly.
Yeah. It was nice
Saturday-
actually. Sun came out.
Well, yeah. Do you know what? It was quite nice towards the back end with that little sunrise into the
Yeah.
final sector. Sunset, sorry. It was quite nice. Have you seen that Tuesday is dark as well?
Oh,
Yes. Taco
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Tuesday is dark from
Interesting.
lights out.
I like
Right, anyway.
I like how we dark race. It's good.
Mm.
Adds a wee span on the mix.
It
We've
goes
got-
like
I'll be
dusk
able-
to dark. That's good. I've had a shot on
Yeah.
the server.
Let me read these last 2 out, gents. We've got Saturday the 30th, we've got Out with a Bang, which is Hungara Ring, 230 minutes. And then we've got probably the most exciting one. Sunday the 7th, before the new season starts, we've got Mystery Box. You can
So the
explain
way-
that one, Chris.
The way the mystery box is going to happen is about an hour and a half before the race actually takes place. What me and Naze are going to be doing is going online, doing a quick wee kind of broadcast, and it'll be random picks on what the race will entail. So it'll either be like 230 minutes, 90 minute, whatever. There'll be various selections in the Ferris wheel. So the race type will be picked, then the track will be picked, then your car. Randomly,
Oh.
everyone will race in the same car on that event, so it's called a mystery box. It's something that's going to be happening on PC as well, and my mates will jump on the bandwagon with the same people, with the same thing, just obviously a different depiction of the game. And to me, sounds like a very, very, very good way to finish off our off-season. So we'll see how that goes. People don't like change, however, a little mystery. So, I'll
What
reiterate,
could the worst combo be?
the car itself will be a GT3 car, right? So that's the first thing I'll say.
So it could be a
But it's
Nissan,
every
it could be a
permutations.
Riker.
It could be anything GT3.
Get in the jag.
Imagine if you get the Jag at somewhere like a really twisty track like Zandvoort.
Got the Jag
God.
at the Jag at Laguna Seca, or the Jag in
The Jag at Bathurst over the top of the
Yeah,
mountain.
it's got
Look
to be
at
the
that.
Jag at Bathurst or the Jag at
Look at
Suzuka
that.
maybe. Suzuka.
Oh god.
So obviously, what we'll do to make it that little bit more interesting, it'll be a day race. It's not going to have a night or a rainy permutation. It's just a bit of fun. So it's going to be the race type, the track, and then the car. So, wee bit of excitement. Looking forward to it. And hopefully we get stacked grid. Good to see pretty much all the drivers that drive for tackle, let's say, the 90 odd that signed up. Good to see everyone taking part, so that means 2 servers. But what we'll then do after that wee draw's done, so what we're talking, 5 or 10 minutes to do the Ferris wheels, then we'll go to work and set up the server or servers and lock everyone in and go from there. Looking forward to it.
So just to recap then, what have we got coming up? Very quickly.
Hold on. British GT, 3 rounds.
3 rounds of British GT, great.
Bathurst, 90-minute special.
90 minutes of Bathurst, always great.
75 minutes of the Nürburgring.
Open strategy.
Open strat. 2 30-minute sprints at Hungaroring.
To finish off the year.
Yep, and then mystery box.
The old
Anywhere
mystery
in
box.
anything. Yeah.
So,
And are we allowed to give a date for next season? Is that allowed yet, or is that still under wraps, still being
for the
formulated?
season opener, no, we'll let that fester.
We've still got some details to iron out. Cool, we'll leave that then. Just
Well,
now.
we have 7 events in essence over 3 weeks, 4 weeks, so we've got plenty of.
I will
time to
reveal
get the
though
season ready.
that Bathurst is back again.
That's all we're getting.
That-
Okay, cool.
That I will reveal. Yeah, that's all you're getting. Bathurst
Okay.
is back. That's all you
Teaser. So do the race all the off season, get practice.
get. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There you go. Great reason to join. Cool. Well, thanks very much for jumping on, guys. If you've got any well, thank you very much as well for organising most of the season. I'm sure you've done a lot of it.
Well, Nesbitt's been doing a hell of a lot this season. I've had to take a step back due to personal reasons like work, etc. But I've been doing my bit in the background. But Naze has been an absolute legend this year. So I want to thank you live on stream for everything you've done. You could bring a tea to a glass eye, so you could.
I'll get all emotional.
So you've been
Right,
thanked
so-
for the championship, so there you go.
Did
So-
you figure the link out, Gordon?
What?
Did you figure out the link between the NLBs of the week?
Well, I'm staring at Jay Prentice just now, so yes.
What was the link?
So
Well,
what is
was
the
anyone on the
why?
admin team?
There was. So Gedman was a knob as well today.
Are you
Again.
kidding me on? If I went round that track with knob on my car again, the
Again.
second time.
So is Rogers,
Yeah,
though.
right,
Rogers
yes.
did that twice as well.
I've been done twice as well.
I think it's been quite an interesting and funny season. Some really highs, lots of lows, and the wee quirky knob on the screen as well on the car number has been fantastic.
It's been a fun game to play. Usually
We need a
between
new
race one
name.
and two.
We need a new word for next season. So if anyone has a suggestion for a 3-letter word, not too, not too,
Not
not too much profanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll use that. And we'll implement that for next Sunday,
And you'll get mentioned.
and you'll get a free mention exactly.
Yeah. Great.
Yes. Excellent. And can we just say a massive thank you to yourself, Gordon?
Very
Just
welcome.
before we leave, you've actually been the sort of glue between all the bits and bobs that have held this season together. You've been doing a lot of promo as well, and a lot of kind of like Gene all the drivers up in the chats and stuff. So I've really enjoyed having you as commentator for this season. Hopefully more coming.
Absolutely.
I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you very much. You didn't have to do that. I've enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It's 2 hours out of a Sunday evening, which I would be doing nothing with anyway. So it's been a great way to spend my evening. And I've also been racing in Tackle Tuesday, so I've got my racing fell as well. So
Well, sure. Sorry. just
We're
let
trying
me
to.
show up. You're here for the whole S and giggles.
yeah, trying to. Cool. Well, that's it from the stream. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you guys for joining as well at the end. Congratulations again, Dan, and congratulations to Luca for winning AM class as well. I don't have the maths for the rest of the positions, but congratulations to the rest of the podium and the top 3 for the championship. Yeah, again, thank you very much for everyone joining. And don't forget to subscribe so you'll get notified when we're back next on the air. Until then, take care.
If you want to take part in the lotto, sign up to Patreon. You find the channel on Discord and all the details are there. So get on, get involved, prizes to be won.
That too.
Yes.
Cheers. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys.